Hey everyone, RobloxDev here, back with another one where today we explore if statements. So you've likely heard of these before. They're very useful and you will use them a lot. So let's get started by inserting a script and naming it. If statements. And let's get right into it. So if you remember from just last video, we learned about global variables. So we're gonna create some here. So we're gonna create a Boolean value since it's the simplest one. Like bool value, and we're just gonna make it equal to true. So inside our if statement script, let's set up a few variables inside of it. So inside it, we can create our first variable called boolval. So this Boolean value equals game. So the full game dot replicated storage, so the game, and then we go into replicated storage dot boolval. So now we're from replicated storage into the Boolean value, and dot value. So the value is currently true, false, true, false, true. As you can see, that's how that works. And anyways, that's our first variable setup. Our second one is going to be a Boolean variable. So local, what do we call this one? Tomato is equal to false. Just like that. That's basically saying that the bool val, if we wanted to make the bool val false, there you go, it's false. So now it goes to the Boolean value's value, and it's false. So it's equivalent to this, just the names are different. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to use printing here. So we're going to do if the bool val equals false, then. And you press enter, it should create an end. So here what we're saying is, the keyword in if statements is if, right? So here what we're saying is if the bool val, which is our variable we already created, and make sure it always says value. If you don't put that value here, then just do bool val dot value, right? That also works. We're just gonna put value here. So if the bool val, actually just in case it gets a bit confusing, we're gonna do the Boolean value, which we've defined here, replicated storage dot bool val, so this object, and then we're going to the object's value, and we're saying to ourselves, if the value is false, then do whatever inside here, like blah blah blah, right? All the code in here gets run when if the bool value is false. So for example, what we can do is we can use printing, which you've learned and mastered by now. Value is false, and we can also do if boolval dot value is equal to true, then print value is true. So what this does is it says if the Boolean value is false, then print it's false. If it's true, print that it's true. So if we were to run this game, it would say value is true. But if we stop it, go to the Boolean value, change its value to false, and then run the game, it says value is false. Isn't that pretty cool? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make it so that depending on the value, if it's true or false, it's going to change a part in the game. So we're combining a few things we've learned here. So let's take a part in, and we're going to make it white. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of our printing. Actually, we can leave the printing there, yeah. And what we can do is that if the value, let's set up another variable. I never even used tomato. Local part equals game, so the full game, dot workspace dot part. As you can see, it has the object symbol there. Game dot workspace dot part, and from there we can do anything we want with it. So we're gonna do part dot brick color is equal to brick color dot new This is one of the most basic things we learned so far. Bright green. So if it's false, let's actually make it red. And then if the value is true, then we can do part.brickColor equals brickColor.new green. So now let's run the game. The part becomes red because the value it's false. But if we were to go to the bool value, make it true, then run the game, the part goes green because the value is true. So that's a basic example of an if statement. There's another way you can do this. If the value is false, then do this, else. So if the value is false, do this, but if the value is anything other than false, do this. So for this one, we're going to switch over to an int value. So let's delete our bool value, create an int value, and it can be there. I'm going to call it int value, and we're just going to say replicated storage dot int value. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the int value here, and we're going to give it a value of 34. So if the value equals 34, then. So I'm just going to make this like this for now, and we're going to do dash print. Oh, I still have it bool val here. I don't know why I did dash. Int val. There we go. I changed the variable name there. We're gonna do not dash. Why am I doing that? Print the int val dot value. As you can see, prints 34, and that's because the value of the integer value is 34. Super simple. Really straightforward. Int value just holds a number for you. So if the value is 34, print value is false, and change the brick color to red. As you can see, it's red. But then if the value is not 34, say it was like whatever that number is, it doesn't change it. What we can do is we can learn how to use else here. So we can do part.brickColor. I'll explain this in a second if you don't get it, which I'm sure some of you don't just yet. .new. Let's make it some yellowish type. Here, yellowish orange. So here what we're saying is if the int value's value is 34, then print value is false and make the brick color really red. But if it's anything other than 34, make it orange and print value is not equal to 34. So now if we were to run this, it would go yellow and it'd say it's not equal to 34. We can also just change it back to 34, and as you can see, it goes to red and says value is false, just like we told it to here. Really red, value is false. Something that we can do is we can check if the number is equal to or greater than, or if it's equal to and less than, or if it's less than, or if it's greater than. So the best way to do this is just the equal sign and the arrow, then the equal sign. As you can see, it does this. If there's an arrow with a line under it, it's actually two characters, as you can see. My mouse is inside of it, as you can see right here. So basically what this is it's checking. Oops. Okay. There we go. So I pressed the equal key, but there, by the way. There we go. So right now it's checking if it's equal to or greater than 34. Let's actually delete all of this here in the end. If it's equal to or greater than 34, then print value is false and change it to red. So right now it is 34. It changes it to red. If we make it 33, it's not going to do that. But if we make it if we make it 35, it's going to work. And that's because it said to itself, if it's equal to 34 or more than 34, then do this. And the thing is, you can also use else here, as you can see. So what we can do is we can do print less than 34 exclamation mark, and we can also just change the part's brick color equals brick color dot new. Let's see, like we can do like purple maybe. So if it's equal to 34, then if it's equal to or greater than 34, then do this. What we can also do is we can do a less than sign, so we can do equal and less than. Oops, it's always the sign first. There you go. If it's equal to or less than 34, as you can see, it said, okay, it's not equal to or less than 34, because currently it's 35. So we go to our else, and else says to print less than 34 and change it to royal purple. So if we were to do 33, it would change it to red, because it's equal to or less than 34. 34 also changes to red because we said if it's equal to or 34. We can also extend our if statement by doing else if. Else if, so I'm just going to change it back to an equal real quick. Else if interval dot value is equal to 100, then I'm just going to copy and paste this over real quick and put this inside. Sorry, it's supposed to be 2 equals, by the way, when you're checking the value of something like that. 2 equals. That's why we'd always just replace one of the equals with the sign. I replaced the wrong one. It'd be like this. So what we're doing here is value is 34, value is 100, and let's just make it, change it to grime, whatever grime is. So what we're saying here is if the value is 34, change it to red, but if the value, or, so it's basically saying or, if the value is 100, change it to grime. So right now it's 34, changes to red. If we make it 100, it changes to grime. And if we make it like that number, it doesn't do anything to it because we haven't told it to do anything if the number is here. One more thing we can do, I'm actually going to copy this code over real quick and delete most of this. If it's equal to 34, or now you create a whole new thing. So or, you can't just say 34 or this. That might actually be working, my bad. But best practice, int val.value is equal to 100, then. So now it checks if it's 30. So right now it wouldn't do anything, right? If it was 34, it would do it. If it was 100, it would do it. And that's because we used or. So we said if it's 34 or it's 100, then do this. So that's most there is to if statements for beginners. I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial and learn something from it. I try to keep it fairly short, and I think I did teach pretty well here about if statements. They're really crucial when you're scripting, so I made sure to do that. And anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.